Oh, now. Y'all already know what time it is. Say, check me out, man. Y'all already know what time it is, bro. Before the video start, couple things I need y'all to do. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share this content. We on the building from here, bro. I ain't stopping, you feel me? We on the building from here. So check me out, man. Like I told y'all before, I was real bad off on dope. And at one point, I really didn't even recognize myself, to the point where I did not want to come around my family. Now, the time that I did come around my family, I do believe it was Easter 2018. I've been low-key MIA from my family for 5 years. Now, my mama, I go around my mama, you feel me? But I ain't letting her see me in my state of mind. As far as, you know, me really just down bad, you feel me? I was really down bad at this point in time, so I ain't let my mama see me in that state. But I go over there, I smoke while my mama talking, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She cooking breakfast, she'll come outside, you know what I'm saying? She'll drink her coffee, and we'll just kick it. But within me feeling like I can't come around my mama, I feel like I lost a piece of me. My family will always do something every weekend. Like every weekend, my family always did something. Every time we did something, it was always at my granny house. So that became like a tradition, you know what I'm saying? Like when you young, bro, even like as a teenager or even as an adult, when all, you know, your family members, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, your peers, y'all can all go to granny house and kick it. That's different, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, nowadays, I'm not going to say you rarely see that, because you still got grandmas, you still got big mamas, you still got mothers, but it ain't the same like when we was younger. So I did miss my family, but I didn't want to tell them I'm on dope. I didn't want to tell nobody that. Like, I was low-key ashamed of it, you feel me? Because first off, that's not really something that black folks do. Black folks really don't ice skate. So they say. What you will fail to realize is it's a lot of stuff that black folk do on the low end that you would never know about until you start doing it. Right? Ice skating is one of them. As soon as you start ice skating, that's when you realize, like, damn, I ain't know black ice skate too. Yeah, black ice skate too. But he keep it on the low end, you feel me? So I had to really learn certain things and then adjust to my situation the best that I could, especially once I started losing weight. Because in Easter 2018, I want to say it was Easter time, we all went to my auntie house. We get over there, and of course, you know, everybody like, what up, kid? What up, boy? I ain't seen you in a little minute. Woo, wop, you feel me? Me and my cousin had went to the store, got some gauze, rolled up, smoked, you feel me? Come back, and everybody like, boy, you looking really skinny. They telling my baby mama this too, that she looking really skinny. And I'm like, oh man, it ain't nothing. I'm just playing it off, but I know that I'm looking really skinny. Then, like, as everybody we just chilling. Now, mind you, it was a little hot in the house. Don't get me wrong, it was a little hot, but it wasn't hot enough for me to start sweating. But I'm in this motherfucker sweating hard. You feel me? That's just the dope coming out my pores, right? And people noticing this, but ain't nobody really saying nothing. Like, ain't nobody really saying nothing. So we end up leaving from that party, and life goes on. I'm still doing me. I'm still doing key. And I'm still ice skating. Now, I'm pretty sure at that time I was probably like 160. Then I started dropping weight hard. Boom, boom. So now I'm about 145 around this time. Everything had already hit the fan with me and BM. And she dipped. When she dipped, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me. You feel me? Because I learned how to be on my own. As far as me with my thoughts, me with my kids, and not depending on a woman. Right? So BM leaving was the best thing that could ever happen to me in life. Because not only was I able to understand who I was, I got closer to God. Now, I didn't just get closer to God to be like, oh, if you get me off the dope, then I'll never do this again, then turn around and get right back on it. It wasn't a situation like that, right? A lot of people Like, God will get you out of a situation, and then people will double back right after they get out that situation and do it right again. Thinking that, oh, he got me out of it this time. If I get back in that same situation, I can just pray to God and say, can you please get me out of this situation? It don't work like that. It really don't work like that. Don't play with that man like that, you feel me? Don't do it. So I got closer to God and I started praying more. And like I told y'all in previous videos, instead of me asking for materialistic things, I started asking for guidance, knowledge, and wisdom. And once I started asking for that, things slowly started to change for me without me even knowing it. Because you're not going to know it. It's just going to start happening. And you got to roll with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Not everything going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. But you got to roll with the flow. So, on the day that my partner come to try to smash my BM, I seen the opportunity that he gave me to come stay with him and his wife at his house. Now, if my pride was in the way, I'd be like, man, you got me effed up, you feel me? Like, you just try to come over here and smash BM and you want me to come stay with you? That would have been my pride getting in the way. Like, bro, I don't need you, woo woo. That's what most of y'all would have done. Most of y'all would have let y'all pride get in the way and you would have missed the whole blessing in hand. Because had I not gone over there with him, I probably wouldn't be out here in Dallas. Facts. So, I'm like, all right, bet, what's the proposition? So now me and him politicking. He telling me, I got an extra room. I see you in a bad spot. You and your kids can come stay. Bet, when can I move in? ASAP. Bet. And that's what I did. I moved in with him. Now, when I moved in with Kinfolk, within a span of 2 weeks before I came out to Dallas. In 2 weeks, I was going to be moving out to Dallas and I didn't even know it. But in those 2 weeks, I was still rolling the boat. I was still ice skating. I was still on my Wayne Gretzky shit, right? And at that point in time, I just needed to get, different things, get clothes. So Kinfolk, I ain't got no car at this point in time, right? I had quit my job because the dude who I was working with, right? He told me, he said, look, and this an older white man. This was her uncle. Wait, uncle? This was her grandma brother. Right? This was her grandma brother. So, yeah. So, he told me one day, he said, look, the best thing for you to do is, I don't give a damn where you drop your kids off at. You need to drop your kids off somewhere and you need to come stay with me. Get your money up, right? Do better for yourself, and then you can go back and get your kids. I looked at him, bro. I said, bro, you got the game messed up right now, bro. Bro, I can never leave my kids somewhere without knowing if they ate, how they doing. You feel me? As a father, I couldn't, and I was bad off on the dope already. So it would have been easy for me to just be like, yeah, boom, let's make that happen. Nah, bro. Me and him got into it behind that, and he fired me. And I told him, I said, you ain't gotta fire me, because I quit. Got my last check from that dude. Oh, you little bitch. And I dipped. In that span, I knew I did the right thing right then and there. I told myself, like, that was the right thing to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the right thing to do in my eyes. So I'm getting everything, collecting my last little check from him, and went and got my clothes from, whatever. And I went to go see my grandma. I went to go see my grandma because I'm not sure if the kids was with me this time. They might have been with one of their uncles. So I had an opportunity to go and talk to my grandma. My grandma up in age, she real wise. She can give me knowledge. She can give me guidance, and she can give me wisdom. All right? At the time when you're doing what you want to do, you don't really want to hear that. If I didn't want to get off the dope, I wouldn't have went to my grandma, and I wouldn't want to hear nothing that she got to say. And that ain't on nothing disrespectful. That's just me being real. Me and my grandma got to talking. My grandma knew I was on something. She just didn't know what I was on. So as me and her get to talking, I'm like, look, Gran, I gotta tell you something. She like, I already know what you're gonna say. So what am I gonna say, Granny? She said, you on some type of drug and it ain't looking good. And I looked at her. I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, what is it, Key? I was like, I'm on ice. And she paused for a minute. Right? She was like, ice? I was like, yeah. She said, boy, black folks don't get on ice. I was like, I know, Granny, but this the hand I got dealt. So now I'm playing it. Me and her got to talking, and we had a very meaningful conversation. To the point where we both was in that motherfucker crying. Tears running down our face. Right? I knew I could keep it real with Granny because that's my granny. She not gonna judge me. She my granny. You see what I'm saying? So as me and Granny got to talking, she asked me, she said, have you ever heard of this song called Return of the Mack? And I was like, no, ma'am. Hold on. She puts it on. She put it on YouTube. She played it out loud. Now when the song came on, I'm listening to the instruments and whatever. Then he gets on, he starts saying his thing. In that song, Return of the Mack, spoke so much to me, I didn't understand it at that time. What he was saying right then and there, even though he made that song way before, you know what I'm saying? Probably way before I was born. It was like he was speaking about my life and what I was going through without the drugs. My granny looked at me after the song. Well, you know, she jamming out to it, you know. And then afterwards, she looked at me. She was like, this your season. She said, it's time for the return of the Mack. She said, I don't mean as if you a player, a Mack like that. She said, no. But you my grandson. I've known you all your life. This your season, and it's time for the return of the Mack. And I was like, huh, okay. She was like, you don't know it yet, but that girl you got right now, which at this time I was with, well, at this time I'm talking to my wife now, right? After I done, you know, been by myself, after I done figured out what I need to figure out, after I done just prayed, just figure myself out as a man, right? Me and her started back talking, and every time we talk, never sexual, but it's always been on a friendship level to where if you ain't never had that, you would never understand. My granny told me, this woman you got in your life right now, she's a good one. Everything that you done went through was for you to be able to learn how to treat her. And I'm like, dang, Granny be spitting that wisdom, boy. I'm like, okay. She looked back at me. She said, like I said, this is your season, Key. It's the return of the Mack. And I was like, you know what, Granny, you right. It is my season. It's my time to shine, bro. Right? So you know what you got to do. I'm like, what I got to do? You got to call your mama over and you got to tell your mama. You right. So I called my mama over. And mama came over. And I told her. Now when I told my mama about what's going on and me being on ice, she immediately broke down and started crying. hugged on me. Right? She didn't know what to say. Hell, I didn't either. And me and Moms talked. We talked for a good little minute. Obviously, she was disappointed, but at the same time, I'm already grown. I could make decisions on my own now, and that was a decision that I made. See, when you get older, you make your own decisions. You play by your own rules. Now, if you was blessed enough to have a mama like me and grandparents like I did, and you know what I'm saying, family members like I did, they held you accountable. My mama never let me, I'm not going to say she never let me do anything, because she did. But my mom always guided me in the right way. She guided me in the right way because she knew one day I would be in a situation like this. And not necessarily with the drugs, but just life, period. Because at this moment, life has been thrown at me to the fullest. Now, either you going to swim or you going to sink. Right? Basically. Me and Mom do talk. And, you know, I'm telling her my current situation. And I'm showing my mom and my granny my wife now. And you could tell that they knew something that I didn't know. My granny told me straight up, I can tell, not only is that a good woman, but that's the woman for you. I was like, how can you tell, Granny? She said, I just know these things. I just know these things. Okay. So it was my season, the return of the Mack. I listen to that song a lot now. And when I came out here, went through my little withdrawals, because I withdrawed off of it. I trust when I tell you, bro, that was probably some of the hardest shit I ever had to go through. Withdrawing off the dope. And I listened to that song, man, and I understand it now. I understand what my granny was saying almost 5 years ago about everything. You know, sometimes you got to go through things for you to really understand your purpose in life. I would have never thought about getting on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and speaking about my life. I would have never thought about getting on YouTube and speaking about my life. Ever. Because I wasn't a social media guy. I wasn't the type to be on social media being extra flashy, doing all this extra shit. Like, go back and do your homework. Right? Go back and do your homework. And it seems like this is what I was destined to do. I knew when I was a little younger, people would come to me and talk to me, and I'd give them great advice. But I wouldn't even follow my own advice that I would give them. Right? But I knew I had the gift of gab to speak. I knew it. But I didn't know it until I was put in a situation where I only had to depend on the man upstairs. When I was put in a situation where I only had to lean on God, that's when a lot of things changed for me. Because if it wasn't for that, I don't know where I would be at right now. I don't know where my kids would be at right now. I feel like this is the return of the Mack. And I ain't talking about on no player shit. This is real life. This is my life that I got a second chance on. Because they always say you only live once, right? I don't believe that. I believe there is an afterlife. But while I'm out here right now, while I'm down on this earth, I got a second chance. Instead of me being out on the streets, panhandling, holding the sign, not knowing where I'm gonna sleep at, not knowing where my kids at, my kids looking at me like a bum. I got a second chance to do the right thing. And not only that, to tell my story. My story of return of the Mack. My story of understanding who I am as a person, as a man. Understanding that I got a higher purpose. Regardless of the success that I have right now, regardless of the attention my videos get right now, I know it's somebody out there who watch my videos and they feel it in their soul. They get chills off of it. Because you can't fake real. I don't care how much you act. I don't care how much you can't fake real. You could fake, but you can't fake real. Have you ever looked at somebody on a picture and you looked at them in their eyes on that picture and you could tell they weren't happy, but they acting like they're happy? Because you can't fake real. I found myself. So it's my season. Return of the Mack. I like speaking. I like talking. I like to enlighten people and try to help somebody. Don't take that for weakness though, because people like to take things they see as far as what I'm doing as weak. Don't take it for weakness. Don't take just because right now I'm being vulnerable and speaking and keeping it a being, you looking at it as this weak. It's not weak. This is me being real. I ain't gonna name drop nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna bash nobody's name. I wouldn't want nobody bashing my name without me giving my side of the story. That's why I don't even say my BM name. You feel me? I don't knock her for what she did. I'm the one who heard her first, multiple times. Something that I had to live with, something I had to learn from. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at what she did. Actually, I thank her for what she did. Because if it wasn't for her doing what she did, I probably would have never changed. I was having too much fun. Sometimes you gotta hurt a little bit, you know what I'm saying, for you to understand certain things ain't cool. It's just certain things in life that ain't cool. And I had to learn. And I'm glad I did. Understand who you are as a person. Focus on that. See how you could build from that. And then go forward with it. Because we only got one shot while we down here. I was just blessed to have a second one. And that's just facts. But look, man, we only ask for 3 things, man. Guidance, knowledge, and wisdom. And if it ain't that, man, I already know what time it is with me over here. Until next time, man. Oh, nah.